Have you been asking yourself, what is the difference between zinc white and permanent white? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you the differences between these two different types of white when using gouache paint. Hello everyone, my name is Leah and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi and welcome. I create art and content for individuals that are interested in using art as a tool towards healing. In my journey to learning how to use gouache, I had watched several tutorial videos and so many artists out there were using both zinc white and permanent white. And I just started to ask myself, why the two? What's the difference? Why would you want two different types of white? Now, I was coming from a background in using acrylic paints, and in that world, the two different types of white that I used was titanium white and like a buff white or any kind of white that had like a creamy off tone to it. So I was quite curious into seeing what the differences was. So this video is for all of my creative individuals out there who are either new to gouache or have been using it for a while and are still wondering, should I be buying both or can I just use one? The layout of today's video is I'm going to swatch out both of them on a toned paper with black lines as well as on black paper. I'm doing this to test out to see whether or not the two have any true differences between their transparency. And then from there, we're going to do some mixing where I'm going to be using a opaque dark blue with a transparent, highly pigmented and staining color like phthalo green. And then we're going to have a little fun color with this saffron green, which is such a neon green color. So we can see how the whites mix differently with these types of pigments. First up is our permanent white that I'm going to be swatching out. Permanent white is your titanium white or even your primary white, depending on your brand. It is made primarily with PW6. That is titanium white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first grab it straight from here with a dry brush. Now, typically you don't really use gouache like this. You want to water it down, but I thought seeing the different stages would be good. So we have straight from the tube. Ooh, it's very sticky. Okay, and I'm going to grab some water, put it on my brush, mix it in to make it a nice creamy texture. And then next up, I'm going to grab a lot more water. Ooh, try not to drop it anywhere. So it's more diluted. Mix it in a little. Go over there. And here. So primary white or titanium white is a opaque color. There shouldn't be any transparency. It's great for coverage, highlights. It's the color that you're going to use to really dilute the pigment of your colors to make them those pastel type colors. All right, next up, let's do some zinc white. Once again, I'm going to do straight from the tube. So sticky feeling. Gonna grab some water. Feels like it needs a little more. to really make it creamy. And then let's really dilute that. So you can already see a physical difference between the two as I'm swatching them out. Now, zinc white is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent. There we go. Zinc white is a transparent color. It's also commonly referred to as a mixing white. But basically what that means is it's commonly used when you want to add to your color mixtures and still give it a potent color. And that's what we're really going to see when we mix these colors. Is there really a usage for the two? Can you tell the difference? Is it worthy of having this when you're doing it? Because zinc white, when you mix them with the other colors, will make it so that the color, say pink for example, will still shine really through, where with a permanent / titanium white, it will be more of a softer color. I'm going to zoom in a little so you can get a closer look at it. For the purpose of today's video, I'm going to just show you on camera me swatching them out here on my tanned paper, but I'm still going to be swatching it out on the black. I'm just not going to show it on camera just to keep this a little bit of a shorter video, but we are going to look at what they look like side by side at the end of today's video. So let's start first with Prussian blue. I'm going to add an equal amount to both sides on my mixing palette. And for each one, I'm going to add the same amount to each. So first, let's get started with our titanium white, the permanent white. So I'm going to grab about this much white. I'm going to add it . You know what I just realized? I probably should do what it looks like first. All right, so this is Prussian blue straight from the tube with a little bit of water to give it the right consistency. Now we're gonna have the one next to it that has the little bit of titanium mixed in with it. I'm gonna add some more. All right, as you can see, it keeps getting lighter and lighter. I'm just going to, for the purpose of this video, speed it up a little bit by mixing this completely white. So I'm gonna clean this off first. I just noticed that I haven't been keeping up with swatching the black on the black paper. Oops. I feel like I need a little extra white on here just to make the amount that I had here equal to the amount I have here. Now I'm not going to re-swatch the pure color. I'm just going to take a little bit of paint. Add it. There we go. Now for this one, I'm going to try really hard not to forget each time I swatch one here to go back to the black paper. At this point, I want to note that as an artist that's been testing out the difference between these two, you can clearly see that I really do prefer permanent white. So I've purchase this ginormous one because I'm almost all out of the permanent white in the smaller tube. So I clearly use it more, but I think that has more to do with just my preference and how I paint versus the white itself. I know the paint isn't fully dried, but I feel like you can already see that there is a difference between the two and how the colors look. Now let's move on to phthalo green in today's demonstration. Phthalo green is an extremely strong pigment. So this will be an interesting comparison between seeing what they're like mixed together. And yet, as soon as I just added a teeny tiny bit of white to it, I feel like it just got really light. Weird. Not really 100% weird. I found the same thing when I was playing with this phthalo green for the first time. I feel like it's not as pigmented as other phthalo greens. Now, I thought that was all in my head. It might not be. I just did it again. Ugh. Yeah, this phthalo green is not as pigmented as I thought it was. All right, now let's move on to doing the zinc white mixtures. Now let's move on to saffron green, a color that is extremely vibrant and bright. Honestly, I think it should be called neon green, but that's just my opinion. I fear I may not have added enough white for that one. Now we're moving on to the zinc white. Alrighty, we've reached nearly the end of today's video, but first, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at everything now that it's dried. If I can get this off the table, okay. So, I feel like both colored papers were the right way to go for swatching white and color mixtures out, because these colors really pop off the page and show the difference quite significantly. I must say that in a test like this, where we are swatching them out and doing comparisons, I can really see the value in having a zinc and a permanent white, because there are differences. You can clearly see that these colors are different. The permanent white creates a more pastel-y version of it, where the blue here is still quite prominent. Same when we go to the greens, you can see quite a significant difference between them. Not so much here because I forgot to swatch a couple colors, but you can still see the significant difference between them. In the real world, when I was testing out these two paints and I was just using them, I could not see a huge difference. I just basically was painting and I was like, I don't see the difference. I could really see the difference, however, when I was doing highlights. And that's just because the white itself is significantly more opaque. And this one is clearly quite transparent. So when I was doing my highlights on top of my colors, I struggled when I used the zinc, but when I used the permanent white, it was definitely more poppy and it made them stand out more. What do you guys think? Do you see the value in having the two of them? Are you understanding more the way that they perform now that you've seen it in this kind of format? If you have any questions or comments about today's video, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. I just want to say thank you to everyone who follows me here on YouTube, as well as all of my viewers, whether you're new or you've been here this whole time. Just thank you so much for being a part of this creative journey and this healing community that we have here on Leah Evergreen's art channel. That's me, by the way. I feel like I worded that funny. I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this, for voting for this class, for voting for this video. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. So if you are new here and you enjoyed this and you are interested in learning more about using art materials, and having art as a tool towards healing, hit that subscribe button, because that's all that I'm about here. And once again, thank you so much for watching this, and until next time, stay magical.